look at this redwood motherfucker. What you want?
To give you a choice. See, you're in my house, Fatso, and you didn't ask permission. So you and your friends can leave now, or they can carry your fat ass out in a bucket. Now I'll count to 3.
Bitch, do you know who you're talking to?
1, 2. You owe us a pair of glasses. Now get out of my cell.
So I saw something of yours.
Oh, yeah.
Reacher. I saw Reacher.
Oh, you saw Reacher. Great.
Yeah.
How'd it go? What was that experience like?
What was the experience like for me? As if you, well, actually, I was watching it because somebody, I don't know, maybe you, somebody's name popped up as director. So I'm like, well, let's see. And let me tell you something too. I loved your episodes of Umbrella Academy. I thought they were way above. The whole series was great, but I thought your episodes of Umbrella Academy were way above what was going on with people, other people on that show. So I tuned in, man.
But in Reacher, not so much, huh?
I did not. I wasn't going there. I was not. I
can feel it flip. I'll tell you what happened with Reacher is I met the writer called me and said he would love me to indulge in an episode. They were shooting in Toronto, and they were going to shoot these flashbacks in California. And I haven't even shot. So rarely do I get to shoot in California. And I know about the Reacher books, and I even read some, and I like the character. And so I began by saying I could shoot. Yeah, I'm available to shoot the flashbacks for my episode in California. Then they called me. They said, "Are you available to shoot this other director's flashbacks?" So they can't get to California. There's some doing something else. I said, "Yeah, I guess so." That'd be sure, okay. Then they said, "Can you do this other guys?" Because they have how many episodes did we do? 8, I figured.
Yeah, something 10 maybe.
And anyway, I ended up directing like 5 different directors these flashbacks.
Wow.
Now, it was really exciting. Except I wasn't sure about that. I was a little nervous. Because you see, they hadn't started shooting the main unit yet. So I didn't know, like, the flashbacks are about a kid who is the Reacher, his brother, growing up, but we don't know who the Reacher is. Like, we haven't met that character yet. We haven't seen him. We don't have no dailies. They haven't shot that yet. And we have to start shooting the flashbacks before. Now, some might say, well, that makes sense. You grow up and eventually you become an older person, so you should start. Yeah. No, you want to know what you're know what your ending is so you can work towards it.
Right.
Well, I was very, very fortunate. I found out that the guy who's playing that role was young Max Jenkins from Lost in Space.
Oh, your buddy, right? Didn't you work with him?
I worked with him on some episodes of Lost in Space, and I was looking forward to working with him on Lost in Space again. But my work on Witcher went so long in 2020 that I never got a chance to do that. So wow. Jenkins and I got a chance to work out in a big way, and it was good times. And I managed to get him and the lead actor of Reacher connected and talk on FaceTime, which was good. I'm a little stuffed up. You have a bit of a cold.
Well, that's all right. I know you've been traveling and you're working like 16, 18-hour days, and you have been since the beginning of time. So we'll give you a pass.
Yeah, so excuse my bad. So anyway, we had this, we managed to get them connected. Then I went to Toronto and worked shooting an episode. So that's how that happened. And I liked it. I really loved the cast, and it worked out pretty good,
Yeah. So overall, your Reacher experience was pretty good. I thought the show was actually really entertaining, to be honest with you. For whatever reason, it wasn't really put on our radar over at Universal in a big way. And I knew you had directed it. And you actually told me when you went off to do it, as soon as you were allowed to. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, right? Because we know the movie with Tom Cruise, and we get a book a year, right, from the author.
Yeah, we get a book a year. And I wondered, you're thinking, Tom Cruise has done a movie. Yeah. Now we're doing a series with a cast, Joe Schmengi and Steve Surjik. Who cares, right? No one really gives a shit about this when you got Tom Cruise doing the movie. But as it happened, the lead in Reacher is a guy that more resembles the character than than Tom Cruise. So a lot of fans kind of dug that. They were hardcore fans. Oh yeah, that is the guy, more so than Cruise. Because Cruise is not known for his size, Well, he's known for his size, but it's the opposite of the Jack Reacher size,
So how do you like this? How do you like this guy as Reacher, and how is he to work with?
Well, he's great to work with, but I would say that his partner, the female lead in the show, was kind of spectacular. She kind of helped him be who he was. That's a weird thing to say, except that, he was a really good actor, but by her, like somehow, sometimes, they have, when you look at in sports, you find that there's some character out there who's playing on the ice, and for whatever reason, when they're on the ice, everyone plays higher than they've normally played in their game.
Yeah.
That's what this woman was. She was able to bring the best performances out of everyone, particularly him. And together, I think they did very, very well. But that was, I think, the magic spice,
Well, sometimes it's about chemistry, or what people in sports would refer to as systems. And you get a certain cast together, and for whatever reason, it triggers an avalanche of awesomeness. Yeah. So I'm not surprised. Yeah. I've seen that too, where people do a table read and then an actor falls out and a new actor comes in, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, what happened here? It's the same script, but
wow. Yeah.
It's
there's like, a catalyst, it's like a chemical catalyst. And all of a sudden everyone's performance changes. And you can see it in sports with like real metrics of assists and goals, but it's harder to pinpoint in something like drama, but you still see it, you still experience it. And it was definitely there. And I think she was the most valuable player.
So he got through it all right, though, your lead, right? He enjoyed the experience.
Oh yeah, and
it's pretty physical.
Very physical guy. I mean, he was like, he really was. He's like 6'5", and he was built like, he was really a Jack Reacher.
Yeah,
and he cared profoundly about what he was doing. He was happy to redo. He would try anything I said, and then one day he said, maybe because as you know, Jack Reacher is, every book is a new place,
right?
A new theme, a new bunch of crimes to be solved. Well, in the case of, he was saying, hey, maybe we should be going to the tropics. He had the idea that you had,
Yeah.
Maybe we should be doing this in a beautiful, somewhere in the somewhere with his beach and sand. And so anyway, I started reading the other books to see where that would be, because who knows?
Right. Well, that's smart to get ahead of it. And that's always a great play. And when the actor says it, it tends to happen, right? I'm glad. It's my solution at Warner Brothers was always the quick fix. Okay, like if option one of the pitch doesn't work, option two was cruise ship, a pleasure ship runs aground in the Bahamas. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, well, that could be, you don't even have to say anything more. All of a sudden the cast and the producers go, well, that might we might be onto something there. And the studio's like, yeah, fuck you guys, get back to work.
Get back to work in the cold or whatever, exactly. The toxic landfill dump.
Get back to Anchorage now.
Another location story about Jack Reacher is that it was supposed to take place in the book there in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Some small town in Atlanta. Anyway, peanut farms, cattle. And now every time, I don't know how many productions I've gone to Atlanta to work on, because Atlanta has to be the background for if you're in New York City, if you're in wherever, you go to Atlanta and shoot. Well, this particular case, Atlanta was just so COVID crazy that, no one wanted to go there and shoot in the producing world. They said, no, we don't go there.
Right.
So they ended up going to Toronto. Now, I've never been in a show that was acting like they were Atlanta. It's always Atlanta acting like something else. So people were like, why the hell did you go to Toronto for Atlanta? That's why.
Well, there you go. I'm glad to hear the cast, and particularly your lead, is open to doing multiple takes and hasn't been, hit by lightning in a sense where he feels he's got it on take one, take two, and he's done.
No, I'm actually the worst guy for that. Sometimes I get to, I'm just so beguiled by a great performance, or even by any. I just like, all of a sudden it's working. I'm hearing it, and it's like, it works. I'm okay. Cut. We're good. Let's go to the next thing. It actually will get better. But I am like the worst at saying, Okay, that take two looked fine. Let's move on. And they look at you like, what's wrong with you, man? Like, let's go again. Oh, okay. It's not like we're not short on time or anything.
Right. Well, how would you sum the Reacher up overall?
It was a slow burn. Like, it took a little while to get going, then it felt like it caught on fire.
Yeah.
Your road to redemption is paved with tombstones. No quarter, kill all masters. Go to noquarterkillallmasters.com. Rated R.